is Robin Lee Mikowski, and it's been my honor to serve as on the board of the Florida Watercolor Society since 2015. As one of the largest state organizations of its kind in the country, FWS offers many opportunities to our members throughout the year, including 2 exhibitions, the annual in the fall, now in its 49th year, and the online show for our non-signature members each January. All the FWS board members wear many hats, and my main job is digital director. I get to work directly with the artists, which isn't always fun, but most of the time, overseeing the entries to the exhibitions and work with the judges who will select what will show and choose the awards. The 2020 online show will run on the FWS website until December of this year. There you will see 90 paintings selected by our judge, Carrie Waller, wonderful person that she is, who also selected the award winners who are most all with us today. Let's see. There are six awards presented in the online show, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 3 merit awards. Michelle Tabor, say hi.
Hi.
Queen Mary Crucian Carnival series, and you can see her painting behind her. Barbara Z. Lyons, what does the Z stand for anyway?
Zimring.
Really?
My maiden name.
I like Barbara Z, that's cool. She won for Burnbrae Plantation Kruger House, which is her painting behind her. Judy Miller won for Red Coconuts. Judy isn't with us today. And our 3rd place winner was Mary Ellen Carrier for Table of 6. And I understand that painting also won you 5 other awards.
Yes.
Wow, very cool.
Find me in a mini printout, but was a big winner.
That's okay. We're going to show it so everybody can see it. And 2nd place was Bunny Sheffield for Girly Girl Surfer Australia, which is really cool. Say hey, Bunny.
Good morning.
And the big kahuna was Roberta Romeo for Papaya Snack. Say hey.
Hey, how are you?
And there it is back there. Oh, and we seem to have another guest. Oh my goodness, look who we have. Say hi to Carrie Waller, your judge girls.
Hello.
Yay.
Hi, oh,
Carrie is joining us from Japan. So it's 10 o'clock. She's on the wine, we're on the coffee. Carrie, thank you, sir. You didn't sit in there all night, did you?
No.
All day.
You had the time right.
Okay, good. Phew. Because I saw last night that you were in the waiting room, and I thought, oh my God.
No, I was making sure your link worked.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, Carrie. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. This is awesome.
Well, thank you.
You were kind enough to make notes on some of the pieces that you selected. When you judge a show, what do you look for?
Well, I think I'm always looking for strong composition, the graphic appeal, because you're quickly looking through a lot of slides initially, and then you kind of some catch your eye, and of course you go back and mull over them, but the ones that catch your eye right away kind of stick with you. I also consideration of color. I think they have a good idea of how color stories work together and have used that well in their painting. And then technical merit, you know, the use of the actual paint itself. I can tell sometimes when it's bad paint or not the best paper. You can even tell from the photographs. So
yeah, if it's ripply or yeah, and
even sometimes it's the chalkiness of the paint or something, you know, something gives it away. So.
And the importance of using good materials, I mean, and also taking a good picture. That's
right. I think you can beat your head against the wall if you don't have the quality materials. You're really giving yourself, making a disservice for yourself.
And what advice can you give to artists watching, because this is going to go on our YouTube channel, who want to get into the next FWS online show?
Well, I think you should put your strongest work forward, of course. And really think about it. If you are a floral painter, you probably know there's going to be several floral paintings in there. So what would make yours stand apart? In the case of Florida, I didn't anticipate, but when I went there, there was a lot of bird paintings. So if you're going to have a bird painting, it better be a really dynamic bird painting. You're automatically pitting yourself against a whole group of subcategory of people, because how many bird paintings can get in? So you just have to think about that and think about what would set yours apart different, from other artists, and what makes yours stronger.
And what would you tell people not to do?
There's a lot of signatures in strange places. Make sure you sign your painting in a traditional spot. I don't always want your composition to be traditional, but
Right.
your signature shouldn't be the first thing you see. I think make sure there was some pieces that I had no idea that, because I didn't see names right away. I was just looking at images. And so I had no idea that artist painted those images. So there should be consistency with your style, so that it's not so off the wall that you would have no idea that the same artist painted it.
Right. So don't submit an abstract and a bird, unless the bird is abstract.
I mean, unless they're done both really well, but sometimes that can work against your favor, because if you're trying to decide, is this a one-hit wonder, or is this something that they're consistently good at? If you've submitted 4 pieces and then, they're all so strange, off-the-wall subjects or totally different techniques, then you're like, I'm not sure.
Yep. And for the artists, I have some questions as well. I'm going to go around, starting with Michelle. What was the inspiration for your painting, and why did you enter that particular painting?
Well, Queen Mary is part of a larger body that I have been working on since 2017. My husband and I went to St. Croix, and it was during January month where they have their big parades. And so, the pageantry is all full of feathers and rhinestones and glitter. And I was just happy clicking away, taking all these pictures. So I have lots of material to work with. And plus, I just love color. So I call the whole series the Crucian Carnival series. And so I wanted to create an entire body of those imagery.
And you have submitted those in the last few years. So yeah, they're always fun.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Barbara, same question.
Okay, my painting is the Burn Bray Plantation Kruger House in Stuart, Florida. That was built in 1904. And I belong to the Art Associates of Martin County Plein Air Group. And we got special permission to paint this house, or on the grounds, actually. And I entered this painting because I was happy with the way the colors had bled. Part of it's accidental and part's intentional. And the house itself is actually white with dark green shutters, but I saw it this way.
Took some liberties. As a side note, Barbara and I are friends from the same area, and she was having some problems getting into shows for a while. And so when Carrie selected this piece, I always see who gets picked. I said, oh, that judge must have been drunk again, made a mistake, because you actually got into the show. And then when she won an award, I was dancing, but I didn't say anything. I let Kim call her. So yeah, that was fun. All right, Mary Ellen, same question.
The reference photo that I took for my painting was actually in a retail store, Z Gallery. And the two things that always attract me to a photo that make me want to paint it are contrast and color. And I saw a lot of contrast in my Z Gallery photo, and I brought it into Photoshop, and I was able to get the colors in a way that they had a lot of contrast. And it just really popped for me, and I thought, I've just got to paint this. It just looks awesome. So that's where I got my inspiration, and it just really came to be.
Yeah, that's a great piece. Bonnie, same question.
My husband and I were traveling through Australia and New Zealand. And at Bondi Beach, I saw these two adorable surfer girls, turned around, photographed them, and got home, loaded in the computer and said, this girly girl is just so feminine. Her little partner had a baseball cap on backwards and a gold lame backpack, but I thought this girl just had to be painted. One aside, if there are little flamingos on her hat, they are not indigenous to Australia. There's only one in the entire country. It's in a zoo, and its name is Chili. Why did I enter it? I had entered it into a previous local contest, and Dean Mitchell had been kind enough to give it an award. I thought if Dean liked it, he liked the high key, that maybe Carrie might like it too.
Yay, it worked out. Roberta.
Hey, so I guess now I'm going to go off a little here. If there was one food group that we had to choose to eat the rest of our life, mine would be fruit. And so one morning I was slicing this papaya, and I was just mesmerized by the seeds rolling down the side of the papaya and all the different colors. And so I took it outside, and I love to take my photos in the morning light. So I put it on a turquoise plate, grabbed a palm frond, and I took hundreds of pictures. And just thought, well, this is one of my favorite colors is phthalo turquoise. And I thought, this is a good time. I can use phthalo turquoise, and I'll use the orange complementary color. And I guess I chose it because I just love fruit, and I just love the way the morning light captures the sparkles on the seeds and the fruit. And I entered it because usually my last painting is my favorite, and that was my favorite.
Awesome. All right, we'll go around again. The competition is very stiff for the FWS shows, as everyone painfully knows. How did y'all feel when you found out your painting was accepted? Michelle?
Besides just excited, but also honored, and also nice to have a little feather in the cap.
You got a lot of feathers there. Barbara? Yeah, this one was funny.
Pretty much the same thing. I was very excited and surprised, and I felt honored to have something accepted in the show.
And Mary Ellen?
I was thrilled when I found out. And one of the feelings I really had was validation. I paint so much, and I'm just always hoping that this will be entered and win a position. And so I felt very validated.
That's a really good answer. Bunny?
I was really excited. I had gotten in previously and I had all my fingers and toes crossed, but with this competition, you never know. I was very pleased.
That's true. Roberta?
Well, she's right. You just never know. And so, of course, I was excited, and I'm just always thrilled to know that maybe somebody felt that same feeling or got that same, ooh, I really want to go have a papaya snack, you know. It's a wonderful feeling.
And Kim had the wonderful job of calling everybody and telling you won an award. Back to Michelle, how did you feel when you got that phone call from Kim?
Well, just validated that it was a piece that made it in. I started this piece back in 2017, and it was one of the earlier pieces that I started. And during that time frame, I had taken a Rosemary Ferguson watercolor workshop where she did paint pouring, and that's where I started this painting. And I wanted the colors to dictate the picture rather than copying the photo. And then later I took a Paul Jackson watercolor workshop, and he made a comment that, you know, many artists get the painting to about 80%, and then they stop and say, you know, because they're afraid to go the next step further. And as soon as he said it, I'm like, oh man, that's an 80%er. So it sat in my studio because, you know, between life, hurricane, and a brain block as to how do I push it to that 100%. You know, it took me until 2019 to finally just sit down and you know, I'm like, okay, here I go. I'm going to just throw it all in there, and if it works, it works. And I'm pretty pleased.
Well, how did you feel when you got the phone call from Kim and you won the award?
Oh, I'm just thoroughly excited. You know, again, it just validated that this painting is 100% and it's also competitive. That's
Barbara?
When Kim called me to tell me I had won a merit award, I was more than surprised. And she said to me, she said, the check will be mailed out sometime in January. Check. I had no idea there was a monetary award for the merit award, so I was even more surprised and happy.
And Mary Ellen?
When I heard Kim's voice, I was so excited. It was
All right.
just unbelievable, and one more step toward my goals of attaining signature status, just advancing that much further. Just unbelievable. Very exciting.
Yep. Bonnie?
I was in total disbelief. My goal was simply to get in. To get an award was beyond expectations.
All right. And Roberta?
I was at breakfast with my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter and my great-grandson. And I see Kim's name pop up on the phone, and I thought, So I thought I better put this on speakerphone because I'm sure I won't remember what's going on here. And so they heard everything, and she announced, of course, that I had won first place. And I really can't tell you what she said. And I might have even hung up on her. I don't know. But the call was over. I asked the girls, I said, did she just say I got first place? And did she just say I got all this money? And so they said, yeah. And I was,
you're buying breakfast.
And I get to buy lots more art supplies and workshops too. So I was to the moon and back.
And we're going to go around one last time, kind of keep your, we're running out of time, so keep your answers a little brief, but what would you, as award winners, what advice would you give to other artists wanting to get into the show? Michelle?
Well, first you have to apply. That's the only way that you're going to get accepted. And then second, knowing that there are so many artists entering into Florida Watercolor Society, don't be bummed that you get a turn down, because so did so many other artists as well. So I see it as an opportunity to just, you know, go in there again and keep trying. That's all I can say.
Barbara?
Okay, I would try and choose paintings that personally give you the most pleasure and sense of accomplishment. It's a very difficult task picking which paintings to put in.
I agree with that. Mary Ellen?
The thing that helps me the most is I have a good friend who has a very critical eye. And when I show her ideas or possible entries, she'll kind of guide me whether or not she thinks, we'll talk about it together, whether or not we think it's a strong entry. So I would say, you know, gather with people who like interest in terms of the shows.
And you listened. That's the important thing. You're seeking out information and you're using it. So that's cool. Bunny?
I would say always enter what you feel are your strongest, best paintings, number one. And I follow a mantra from another artist, and it was, you cannot judge the quality of your work if you don't enter it competitively.
Oh, that's good.
And Roberta?
Well, I always I paint what inspires me. I paint what stirs my heart. And if I'm taking the picture outside, I take pictures of what makes me stop and look again. And basically, you know, just paint what makes you want to sing, even if you can't sing.
Looks like Judy is gonna pop in for a quick second. Is that Judy?
We completely keep forgetting we are right over the timeline into Central Time.
Oh, okay.
We're an hour earlier than you, and I just completely forgot that. And I was
Oh, I'm
like,
sorry.
I was all set up by 8:15, you know? And then I got that email and I went, oh no.
No worries.
So I tried to get on, obviously, you know, but I guess
Yeah,
it was
I just
too
saw
late.
you sitting in there. Well, Judy, say hi to Carrie Waller, who is your judge. She joined us in the meeting too. And we're at the tail end of it right now.
Okay.
But Judy won for Red Coconuts, which is behind her. Thank you very much for setting that up. And I'd like
Thank
to
you.
thank everybody for joining us today. Zoom just told me we are out of time. So
Okay.
thank you so much for coming, Carrie, for the effort. You can go to bed now. Carrie's
you.
in Japan.
Thank you for having me. And it was a joy to judge the show and see all these paintings again and see the faces behind them.
And it was a joy to have you as a judge. Anytime. I recommend you all the time.
Oh, thank you.
Take care, kids.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
thank